Yes. Next step is to come here. Hi guys, I'm live now, or we're live now, and I'm going to share this. I always have to think twice before doing it because I'm strange. These things are so strange. Sometimes, right. Welcome. First of all, welcome. I'm live. I'm very happy to be here with you, all of you, in any moment in time now, and to be able to share this with all of you. So, with no so I just need to go in here. Great, it's working. And so I can see any comment or anything. Hi, Karen. Welcome. Nice to have you here. So, with no delay, let's me get out of the way and introduce our guest coming from far, 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 far away here. Okay, she's already here, in fact. She's been here for a while now. All right. All right. Let's do it. Oh. Mm. So this is human. Right. Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm Tiatakuta Talama, which you in your language will translate as the universal way. It sounds much more epic in your language than it is in our language. We don't we don't use we don't use our spoken language as you do anymore. We used to, yes, we had a spoken language, and uh we were in a situation like yours. What has happened on recently on your Washington? But that was our common way. That's what was happening all the time on our planet, all the time, and we were fighting that way all the time. So that was our ongoing situation. So I'm Tia. Nice to meet you guys. I'm Tia, and I'm from the planet Aquaba Ulma, which again, it's translated in a way that you can understand it. And that translates in a more in English, your language, as the golden planet, the shining planet, because we have a lot of gold. Gold in our planet, on our planet, is used as you use clay, as you use many things that, well, gold is much more common on our planet, so we are using a lot of gold in our constructions and everything. Well, you will think from your perspective that we are very rich, but it's gold, it's common for us, so it's not valuable as you have the habit of see gold valuable. And it's very funny for us the way you perceive gold as valuable. Yes, so I am Tia. I am, or we are. I am a version of Maxwell. So I am another version, on another interpretation, on another vibration. We are the same being, as you now must understand, or some of you are able to understand. We are the same being. The same a different interpretation of the same being, a different vibration of the same being, a different thought of the same being. We are one. So, um, from your perspective, I come from very far, 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 far away, and you on your planet, you even wouldn't call my planet the shining planet because you have no notion of it and you cannot really see it. And if you were able to see my planet from your Earth, you will think that it's a star. It's a very, very shining planet. Um, so a little bit of history. You are very, very keen on history on your planet. Who are we? So we are a civilization from far, far, far away. Hmm. And our language means nothing to you. You can't understand it because it's so, so different. And we were not using it anymore as written or as spoken. We are communicating now totally, totally telepathically. Therefore, we do not need any other thing than um, telepathy. Um, we have gone from that stage of eternal fighting to a stage of ascensional being. So we are third dimensional like you at the base. However, we are now transcended what is division, and we have now understood that we are all connected and that we are one. And why am I here is because you are taking this path of unity. You are taking this path of becoming one, of discovering your oneness. So how did it happen for us? Well, we were fighting, and fighting again. I mean, we couldn't stop fighting so much. We were fighting, and you could say that we love fighting. As sometimes you human, you have to think of cycling, right? We were cycling in war and in fighting and in hate and in this kind of things. So our planet was in a constant, because this was planetary, in a constant turmoil, constant. And we were not seeing each other in a very lovely way, right? We were absolutely hating each other, not recognizing each other. So that we were in that, and the planet was still, right, standing there with this kind of situation, and we were unable to do anything, even though we had some predisposition into understanding what you call the spiritual world, because we were already advancing in that, on that path of understanding ourselves and on seeing ourselves in a certain way. However, that was not going anywhere because we were fighting. Our This fighting was coming from our inability to accept what we were perceiving from the spiritual world. I'm using your terminologies here. We don't talk like this at all. Even back then, we will have expressed ourselves in a way completely different from you. So I'm talking human so that you can understand a non-human giving you history from the perspective of another planet, so with a culture that is completely different from yours and with a perspective that is completely different from yours. So we were aware of our spiritual position. We were aware that there was more in us than what we were expressing at the time. Well, I said time, as you say time, but more on that later. Um, so that instead of accepting each other as part of the same collective, as part of one, of the one, we started to refuse that. And we started fighting and fighting and fighting to prove that that oneness didn't exist, right? We took the opposite path of unity at first. We refused that because many were feeling that the neighbor was not good enough for them. They couldn't fathom, they couldn't accept to be the same, to be united to those that they're saw as inferior. So we had a lot of separation coming in this path of discovery, and so we fought so for an infinity of time, what you will perceive infinite, a very long time, let's say, and and that was going on until we fully realized our oneness. We accepted that oneness, and once we and this is what you for you is incredible, and probably you will have problem understanding, is that as soon as the realization of the oneness was accepted, the planet stopped fighting instantly. In that instant, it was over. We realized ourselves, we accepted it. We went from fighting each other to being united. We went from using words, speaking words, using alphabets and writing and all that kind of thing to what? To unite, to being united, to the oneness, so that we didn't need that anymore. We were therefore communicating with each other, what you will say telepathy, with telepathy. So we were one instantly. Um, what you have to understand is that even though we are third dimensional beings like you, our perspective is different from you. You have this idea that the third dimension is inferior to any other thing, right? That you are down, below, that you are at the very bottom of the chain of creation. And that if you see a 9th, 10th, 12th dimensional, they are superior to you, and that you cannot stand, and that you have to bow to them, right? We are third dimensional like you, but our expression of third dimension, our in abilities in third dimension are not inferior to those of the other dimensions. So we are able to do things that are done in other, what you perceive that can only be done in other dimensions, right? So we do not have time, or we have time, but our time is not used to to go to be in space. We have a version of space, but our version of space is not limiting us, meaning that we are teleporting ourselves. Why? So you are in space, and you create time in order to move in space. That's why everything on your planet takes so long. Manifestation is very long on your planet because you have time. You create time to go through space. On our planet, we understand that time doesn't exist. We can use time, but we are not creating it the way you do. We can have space, but we are not using space the way you do. So our manifestation is instant. Our movement is instant. So we teleport everywhere in our planet in the moment. So we are living in the moment, which for you is very difficult to understand because most of the time you are not in your moment. Your moment has already passed. And this is because you are still not validating yourself for the creator that the creator's being that you are. So you cannot yet let go of your space, of your time, of your limitations, which are all things that you are creating, right? It's you, the human, the fractal, the creator, the created being that is stopping any realization of all of your potential, of all that you are, because you cannot handle it yet. So it's in many ways, you are, even though you are not as much fighting as we were, but you are somewhere in the same situation we used to be in. We used to be fighting, though, a lot, which you do too, but not at the scale that we used to. So basically, that means that we are able to use our third dimensional, our physicality in a completely different way than yours. So we are able to have a light body. Our physical body, it's much more light body than yours, meaning that we have taken a evolution in the way we express ourselves, in the way we express our body, in the physicality of our body. We are more evolved in that than you are. So we are lighter than you are. Our physicality is not as dense as your physicality, and you will say that we are more fourth dimensional than you are right now. Um, However, let us say this, for how much these things are important, they are not as important as you think they are, because it in creation, in it doesn't matter. We are proof that you do not need to be sixth, seventh, 10th dimensional in order to be able to do these things, right? To be able to wake up in the morning in Max's bedroom and having the thought of, oh, today I'd like to be in Cambodia, and be in Cambodia instantly, which is what we do. To be able to fly, to be able to regulate your body, the temperature, the light, to be able to express instantly all of what you want to express in one simple image. Everything condensed in there. You don't need to use many words to say nothing, and to try to say the little thing that you want to say, and you are still 10 minutes later trying to express what you are trying to say, and no one is understanding you because you still are turning around the concept and still not there, and still no one is understanding you. Now we are instantly expressing ourselves, and everyone can understand everything we say instantly. There is no need for time to understand. That's why our planet, the very moment we realize our oneness, the planet stop fighting. The very moment, because there is no time. Because we don't need to go through time in order to have everyone joining in. No, instantly everyone joined in the understanding of our oneness. So you see how your notion of time is somehow limiting what you are expressing right now. Our manifestation is instant. We don't have currencies because we do not need to pay for anything. We know we are creators. We are. I am, which is a notion that is still very limited on your planet as of the meaning of I am, the meaning of creator, the meaning of manifestation, the meaning of I am all of that. I know that things, my people on my planet, we all know that. So we do not need currencies. We do not need anything permission slips. We don't know what permission slips are anymore because we don't need excuses in order to justify our existence. We exist, and that's all. I am. You see, what I'm conveying to you is that their dimension is not au- automatically limiting your notion of creation or your ability of creation or your ability of realizing yourself. It is absolutely and completely possible as third dimensional beings to have everything that other dimensions have, because you are already those dimensions. You see, our realization, our oneness, our realization of the creator inside is the realization of being able to do all those things, the I am. And all that could be limiting us before that realization, that moment, was gone, instantly left us, because instantly we realized that we were doing it. And as we were, as I said in the beginning, we were already understanding the spiritual way. We were already understanding those things. We were refusing them, but we were refusing them more in the notion of being the same being or being connected with those that we thought were inferior, right? We were validating some sort of caste. This being is superior to this being. That's why we had that fight. That's why we were having that refusal to accept that very aspect of the oneness. We wanted to be one, but only with those that we choose to be one with. Right? Now, you are somewhere there in your binary, in your divisions, in your saying politics. United States with two political parties, you are one or the other, and you can not be anything else. And if you are one, you are the enemy of the other, and if you are the other, you are the enemy of the one, right? Okay, we were choosing basically our oneness with that kind of ideas. So if, let's say, if you are American, you want to be connected with Americans, but you refuse to be connected with Russians or with Chinese or with whomever else, because you say, oh, they are not good enough to be with us, right? That is the idea. So as you refuse to be one with those, well, will you fight? That's what we were doing. We were fighting each other to be able to hold on that idea that, oh, we are good and they are not good enough for us. So we were fighting, and we realized at the end that we were fighting our worthiness. We were not worthy of the oneness, not them unworthy of us. We were not. I was not worthy of that. So once we realized that, we were able to let go of all of that shit, all of that things, all of that denial. But as I was saying, we already had the notions, we already were able to see many things around our oneness, our spirituality, and about our connection with the Creator. We knew the Creator. We knew that each one of us was creating, right? We knew all of those things, and still With all that knowing, we refuse the oneness, or at least for a very long time, actually, because our wars were ongoing for a long time. But as we knew we were creating and that we were the creators, we also knew what is starting to come as an understanding on your planet. We knew that no one was dying. We knew that no one could die. So we knew that, uh, and it could seem to be not, not logic to you, but we knew that we could fight as long as we wanted. In our refusals, we were creating our wars as an expression of the refusal of the oneness. That was our creational response to that, which was our way of expressing what you call separation. We knew we were not separated from ourselves, but we were trying to separate us from the oneness. So we were fighting us, we're fighting ourselves. And as I was saying, all of this stopped in a moment. The moment we realized that we were fighting ourselves, and we accepted it, and that was planetary. Everyone stopped fighting in the same moment. So you are on a path that is different. For you are humans, so humans are experiencing all of this in a different way. You don't have the pre-existence awareness of you being the creator. You have the notion coming from your light bearers. Some of you have this notion and the understanding of this, but that is not a notion that is shared on your planet. So that is different. We knew at the planetary level our creational, that we were creators. We knew. However, beside those things that are, part your own situation, right? You are different from us, so you have a different situation. However, your path now is the path of unity. You are going in that direction of unity. You will know your unity very soon in a different way from us. Your unity will not be instantaneous as ours. You have time, and you still validate time, and time is something that you will keep creating for the time being, until you will not create time anymore and you will let go of time. It's not that, once you ascend, time is not needed anymore, because you are not holding time as you are holding now. You need time to fulfill your emptiness, your unworthiness, and your lack. As in, as you are very lackful in your planet, you are still expressing that lack, which is one of the reasons why you are not able to go faster in your evolution, is time, right? Because of whatever evolution you will have on your planet, that evolution is in time. As we were already aware that time was a tool we could use any moment we wanted to use time, but we knew that we were not staying in time. We were not attached to time. Those were things that we already knew. And so we also understand that in your evolution, time is a factor, and as soon you will evolve in your oneness, you will be able also to take the direction, yes, third dimension, right? And no time. But for, as we can state here, our species can attest, you do not need to be in fourth dimension to be able to let go of time as a way of creating. You can create instantly already in third dimension. Your planet is going in fourth dimension, you go to fourth dimension as well, and you evolve in the new version of you. That's Homo galacticus, right? So all of this is clear, right? It's something that you can already know because it's already there. You see, you have these notions, you have this path, you have this, you know these things. How is it possible that you know that Homo galacticus is coming? Because Homo galacticus already exists now. So you see, from the point of view of no time, you have already done it. You have already your oneness. When you let go of time, it's done now. But in your illusion, you're still creating time. So you are taking the very, very, very long way to go where you are already, because you are already Homo galacticus. You have already created yourself in a different way. You have already transcended your limitations. Now, however, you cannot see that because you're still creating time. And as long as you create time, you cannot see what already is. It's like a cloak, it's like a fog that is taking your eyes so that you cannot see what is already there. You are in time. Whereas in from creation, in what is non-physical, you are ready. And these are all things that we have been able to understand. So we transcended our hate, our division, our caste system, right? We said, okay, now I get it. And now I get it was we all get it. And we understand in saying this to you right now that this message of oneness, but this message of evolution and this message of there are infinite ways to get to oneness. There are infinite ways to transcend your third dimensional physicality, limitation way of being to get to the oneness of non-limitation, right? There are infinite ways. All of those infinite ways will always lead you to the oneness because that's your natural state. Our natural state, I'm one with you. And I live from your point of view, I live far, 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 far away. And even that far, 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 far away is not far enough. It's so far away that it's fucking away. However, that is still an illusion because I am not far away. I am, I am the creator, the same creator as Maxwell. So we are one. We are the same being. And by being the same being, we are here and now together. And this is why I'm able to come to you and to come to Max right now, to unite myself, create this personality, create this being, this expression of us right now that we are creating and we are using to express ourselves in our oneness. We are one. And that's the way we are able to express this. So you see, your situation right now, it's the expression of separation in time. And that is what? Evolution. You are evolving. It's part of your evolution. It's part of your expression of this moment where you need change. You change, and the change is what? The evolution through what? To what you want to express. And you see, there is this aspect of saying that you have a lot in your belief system, and that is suffering. You need to suffer in order to be able to uh, to ascend, to go there, to be that new being that you can be, that you know you are going to be. And you think that the more you are suffering, the more, the quicker you are getting there. We did not suffer to get there. There was no suffering, but because we didn't need to suffer. We did not suffer. That was a notion that was not existent in our third dimensional evolution. Why? Because we already knew, as I said, no one dies. We knew that in our war, we were not really killing anyone, eliminating anyone. Everyone was coming back. Or maybe as a new expression of the self, yes, a new face, why not? But we are able to do that anyway, and we do not need a war for that. And we are expressing ourselves in many, many ways already. And we already knew that all of those expressions that were present on our earth were different. Many of those were different expression of the same being. So we had those notions. So we knew that we were not what you call killing anyone. We knew that death was not a thing. You are not there yet. You are not validating as a planetary idea, as the oneness of you. You are not there in understanding the eternal value of the being. Your Seth has the his book, The Eternal Validity of the Soul, right? So soul, he's using the terminology soul so that you understand, right? There is no soul. It's not soul as you mean soul. Soul means being, the global self, the unity. So the global self, the one, is eternal. So you are too, because you are the expression of eternity. And the expression of eternity is eternal by definition. You cannot have eternal without expressing itself, without expressing eternity. You have to be eternal. And you will understand this too in your evolution. So Max is telling us that our being a planet, a shining planet, because of gold being the main material, that we have, that we use, um, is very triggering for humans. For you, gold is this idea of wealth, this idea of money, this idea of richness. We don't have that on our planet because we know we are worthy and we are expressing wealth all all the moment. That's what we are. So our goal is nothing else than our creation, the way we choose to create. Maybe from your point of view, this could be interesting to express it this way. From your point of view, our creating gold as main material on our planet is a way to give you the idea of how we have grown in our worthiness. We are worthy. We are understanding I am. We are understanding that we are all there is. So, from your perspective, that could be that could be interesting to dig into this. We use gold, and for you, gold is what represent wealthy. Then be it, right? And you will see that in your evolution, your I am worthy, your wealth will appear naturally. Once you are I am, you are worthy. Once you let go of all of your limitation, all of your lack, time, you become worthy. And you become, I cannot be anything else, right? But you even don't think I cannot be anything else because you are. So the notion of not being that you are disappears because you cannot be anything else than what you are. Right. We have said all there was to be said. So we are now giving you back to Max. Stay there. All right. So this is Tia. Tia from far, far, far away. So she appeared to me last night. I was watching outside in the dark, and I had the vision of her, and she's outstandingly beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And the thing that what I've seen is that the gold is not only the gold they are using for creation. They have a way of expressing their physicality that is using the gold. They are that worth from our perspective. They're light, they're golden. It's golden. They have this expression of themselves is amazing. And I was seeing this. I've seen this beautiful woman, uh, dressed. She, I mean, so magnificent, what we will expect, the the most powerful, the most, expensive things that you can imagine. And but for them, in their idea of I am, that is not wealthy, that is not trying to be or trying to appear, that's the natural state of being. And probably that is an idea of what is there for us, in the sense that, um, it's not the idea of becoming and just showing, or whatever. Is that when you create from that perspective, you have no limitations. You project yourself, and you appear at your best. There is nothing else. There is just that is what it is, right? And yeah. And it's fascinating, because we have in our limiting ideas uh, some sort of pre-concept of what it is, so that everything has to be as it is here. But clearly that is not the way it is. I mean, there are infinite ways of expressing ourselves, infinite planets, infinite uh, levels of creation, so expressions of creation. So it's normal that we come across expressions of ourselves that are expressing something that is absolutely phenomenal, and still in a dimension that we can understand, right? The dimensional, if we understand the dimension, but we see now that we don't really, because their dimension is expressed in different ways, and our limitations are not necessarily what we have in the dimension. You can have things that are completely different from what we are expressing, of what we are living. It's and it's good to realize, because we are still now too keen to put ourselves, as Tia was saying, to put ourselves on the bottom, on the lower bottom of evolution, and to see ourselves less than everyone else. Whereas she said, well, no, we are third dimensional beings, and we are very aware of everything that we can be aware of. And by the way, um, Jeff, on Wednesday's class, well, Jeff looked to me very well aware of everything, and Jeff said, I'm the dimensional being, right? So um, we have to let go of our preconcept of what is higher, lower, and what is possible here, possible there. Uh, it's it's really our limitations that are keeping us from realizing our potential, right? Wow. So fantastic. So that's Tia, the universal way. Tiata Kuta Talama. Wow. And I can't even imagine how and this is translated in a way that we can pronunciate, and that we can say. Probably then they will say it differently, and they will write it differently. Anyway, well, I know they write it differently, because I wrote it in her language, and I can say we it's absolutely no idea. um, right. So um, that was I was getting to, and now let me finish this live with well, talking about my website. I have a new website that is online, or it's already online. It's not yet finished completely. I have to write about me, the about me section, and a couple of other things that are coming, and then we will not immediately, but later on we will do it in Italian and in French. But well, for now we are already doing the English. Let me write here. Um, Let me see. Breakfast with Max, right? Oh, it's not. Is it working? No, it's not working. Oh, yes, it's working now. Um, yeah, so that's there, and it's going to be a focused place where to find what I'm doing, and to contact, and well, and do some magic together. Very exciting. It's getting real. And what else? Well, I'm going to do some new Zoom classes in the upcoming weeks. I'm going to give some the create the event in advance, and dig more in the wealth, right? Creating wealth, being wealthy, and expressing ourselves from that point of view of um, seeing our creation as wealth, as wealthy as there is. And yes, and that's all I wanted to say tonight. And I think that, well, let me just say this: be safe and keep rocking your word. And everything, as always, is going to be all right. It is all right. It's you. So you are handling this, and you are doing it the best way that you can do it, because there is no one else that can do your word as good as you are doing it. So, and you are rocking it, even though sometimes you are not seeing it, you're not noticing it. That's exactly what you're doing. You are doing it magnificently and wonderfully, and no one is better than you. You are absolutely fantastic. You are beautiful, and you are an amazing being. And well, the days that you are a little bit down and not seeing that, well, let those moments go. Accept it, and let's transmute this moment, because they are just what, just a moment. It's just you telling yourself that there is something that you have to put your attention on, and then you can let go of it. It's not because you have days that you are down that you're that diminish that can diminish you, right? You will always remain a creator, and the creator, and the most beautiful being in your creation. So unless anyone has a question for me, but let me just say hi to everyone. Jennifer, hi. Roxy, hi. Welcome, and thank you for being here. Karen, I said hi. And everyone else. Um, Thank you so much, and I look forward to connect with you in the next now. Thank you so much. Um, and until then, I wish you a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful everything. And in whatever moment in time you may see this, remember that that is still now. So you have been watching it now. In time, who cares? In reality, it's now. So love you. Yeah, love to you, Karen, too. Thank you so much. Mwah. Big hug. And hug to to your dogs too. I hope they haven't barked too much. They are participating. They are, right? They want to be part of it. Um, Thank you so much. So finally, thank you and bye bye.